So now that we have basic functionality here in our form for the input filtering, for instance, if we enter 1, it says ID argument must be between 3 and 10. If we enter 5, it's valid. So we see that this form is being validated. Here's the form ID. We send the ID, and input filtering process, which is in the action, is here. And here we say that it has to be between 3 and 10 using this syntax. So another example is email and URL. And this is done in the same way with the filters email and URL. Let me show you how to quickly do that. Let's just copy this code here, ID, email, URL, email, URL. So take that out, this out, and we go back here. And now, so we have an email here. If it's false at that point, then it's an invalid email. So let's just change everything here. If it's null, that means we didn't send it, so that should give a different message. If it's false, then email argument, let's say here, you must give a valid email. Otherwise, email is valid. Email, okay. And same thing for URL, 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 URL. You must give a valid URL, and here also URL is valid. So now that's all we have to do to have validation. Let's give it a try. Now we have email and URL. Let's try a bad email. Let's say at google.com, for instance. You must give a valid email. You must give a valid URL. We didn't even give one. So of course it's not right if we do it correct. Edward@google.com. Email is valid. Super. You must give a valid URL. Let's try that one too. Type a bunch of junk. You must give a valid URL. No. So let's type in a correct one now. And, oh, it didn't say anything. Why didn't it say anything? Let's see. Echo. No, just because we have a little typo here. There's always a reason. Let's fix this here before it causes more problems. Oh, this is also broken. Okay. Anyway, that's fixed. So now, go back. Test this again, send, URL is valid, email is valid. So here you can see that with these constants, you can validate an email and a URL very easily. But that's not all. You can also validate with a regular expression, which can be very powerful because regular expressions themselves are powerful. Let's do, for instance, a zip code example. Zip code, type in the zip code, name, zip code, okay, and now let's copy this. Zip code equals, and put post, what's coming in, zip code. And now, if you look here with control space, you'll see regexp. Choose that one. And then you need to send it an array. In the array, you have options, and that is itself an array. And that array is regexp. And the regular expression is, let's say we just want to test for 5 digits. So a regular expression always has these 2 slashes and then digit and then 5 times like this. And then we want to say that the end of it should be at the end of the line and the beginning of it should be at the beginning of the line. So no, the reason why Eclipse is giving us all of these warnings here is because we have too many there. Okay, that is also a problem. We don't need this there. So everything's okay now. So we have this regular expression that says we want a digit 5 times and it should be at the beginning, start at the beginning and end at the end. That's what we want. So that's perfect. Now let's validate it the same way. The same way as we did all of the other ones, ID, email, and URL. So zip code. And if null zip code, then say zip code argument is missing, of course. Let's just copy this here. Okay, you must give a valid zip code. Okay, and the zip code is valid. Zip code is valid. So we can say that, and that should work. Let's see. Go back. Zip code. So let's type in an invalid zip code. You must give a valid zip code. Don't type in anything. You must give a valid zip code. Super. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must give a valid zip code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You must give a valid zip code. So he's very persistent. 5 digits. Zip code is valid. Very nice.